The online coaching space changed fucking loads last year, and now we're into 2026 and we're seeing that change continue to happen already. I'll be honest, I had plans to get this video out right at the start of 2026, but then with the Christmas break, I got pretty ill straight after, so it's taken me a while to get around to doing it. But what that has given me is more time to see this stuff happening. This is not some random predictions video where I'm plucking things out of my arse. This is stuff that was already happening at the back end of last year and is continuing to happen now. And what I want to do is talk about a few things and then share with you what you need to focus on as an online coach, not just in 2026, but moving forwards to make sure that you survive all of this shit. If you're looking for a channel that talks about things like coaching, building a business your way, retention, getting better results, having an impact, all of that sort of stuff, make sure you subscribe because that's what this is all about. Like I said, this is not a trends video. This is not a hot takes video. This is not a predictions video. I'm simply just paying attention to what's happening. And every time something like this shifts, the same thing happens. Some people panic, some people double down, some people struggle, some people manage to succeed. I'm making this video to show you what I'm noticing in the hopes that you become one of the people that succeeds. There is no denying that the online coaching landscape is constantly evolving because it's still in its infancy, to be fair. But over the past year and now in 2026 and moving forwards, things like GLP-1s are having a massive impact. Things like AI are changing things drastically. There's no denying that trust in online coaching by from Gen Pop is at an all-time low. Skepticism is at an all-time high. All of those things put pressure on the same things, on you. Now, with all of these things, you get a choice, right? You get a choice. Do you double down and figure out how to adapt? Do you see it as opportunity, or do you let it fucking crush you? Because I know coaches that are in both sides of that at the minute. I know coaches that are changing things and evolving and figuring out what needs to happen and seeing some massive fucking success. And I also know coaches that are panicking and starting to worry. So let's talk about GLP-1s for a minute. I'm seeing coaches, I'm in mentorship groups with coaches that are kicking off left, right, and fucking center about GLP-1s and the people that use them. They're worried that it's going to kill coaching. GLP-1s aren't going to kill coaching. Okay, not a fucking chance. What they are going to do is expose bad coaching. The people that have only ever been able to sell and build a business off the back of getting people leaner have now had that removed from them. Maybe not removed from them completely, but certainly made more accessible, easier, lower effort to achieve those types of results. For a lot of people, not everybody, but for a lot of people, getting started and chaining that early momentum together and seeing those early results to be able to buy into the process used to be the hardest part of the journey. Now it's fucking easy. Expensive, but easy. So when we remove that, or when we make it easier for people to get into a calorie deficit to see those changes, habits, identity, behavior change, community, human connection, emotional regulation, decision making under pressure, all of these different things, all of these things that I've been speaking about the importance of for so long are now more important than ever. The people that only have been able to previously churn out physiological change, physical transformation, they're the ones that I'm seeing are panicking. They're the ones that I'm seeing putting content out about how people shouldn't be using GLP-1s and telling people what they should be doing or shouldn't be doing. The coaches that I know that are already skilled at the mindset side of things, they're not panicking. They're not worrying because they're able to talk about and show proof of people that they are working with that are utilizing GLP-1s, but show proof in different ways. The impact that things are having on their mindset, that the coaching is having on who they are becoming. They're not the ones that are worried. The ones that I see that are worried, the ones that are churning out content about how new research is supporting that people are regaining weight 4 times faster, etc., etc. I get why they're worried. One thing that I know for certain, we had a GP come into the Amplifier community and deliver a masterclass on GLP-1s. Shared a load of inside knowledge that they're getting from the NHS. One thing that I know for certain, and will say confidently, is they're not fucking going anywhere. If anything, the use of GLP-1s and weight loss medications is only gonna become more widespread in society as we move forwards. So if your value as a coach was telling people what their behaviors need to be to lose body fat, you're going to get exposed. But if your value is in supporting human beings, providing all of the other stuff outside of as well as physiological change, you're going to be all right. The thing that is apparent is that regardless of if somebody's using a GLP-1 or a weight loss medication or not, the thing that needs to get better, the thing that will save you through all of this is your coaching skill, not your instructing skill on what to eat, how to train, how to create that deficit, but your coaching skill to empower people to think and act for themselves. Again, AI, something that I've seen is going to kill the online coaching space. Bollocks, not true. What it is going to kill is delivery of information. Again, the coaches that have built business off slinging out plans, it's probably going to kill that. But AI is not replacing coaches. All it's replacing is average coaches. Plans and instructions and even adjustments are now more accessible than ever in both terms of speed and money. What it also means is that authority and value isn't going to come from knowing more anymore. It's going to come from being able to hold people to good standards. It's going to come from being able to look at the entire context of somebody and make good judgment calls based on them as a person. It's knowing when to push clients and when to pull back and how to communicate with them. It's being able to see patterns that clients can't see themselves because you've built a good relationship with them. That's where your strength as a coach is going to come from now. And the final point that I made earlier about trust being at an all-time low, there's a reason for that. People don't trust the claims anymore, the promises anymore, the guarantees anymore. Look, the online coaching space boomed in lockdown, okay, when everybody was kind of forced online. That was over 5 years ago now. A lot of people now have either had experience with an online coach themselves or know somebody that has. The reason that trust in online coaching is low is because the standard of coaching has been low. The people that have either had that experience themselves or know somebody that has probably haven't had a great experience of online coaching. They probably haven't got the results that they were promised. And now I'm not saying that's the fault of the coach. I'm not saying that's the fault of the client, but we have to deal with the objective truths here. So yes, it is harder to get clients at the minute. And I can say this safely because again, I'm working with a ton of coaches inside the Amplifier. We have calls about this every single week. I'm also in this unique place in the industry where I'm friends with mentors. I'm friends with people that run business mentorships. This isn't something that is just occurring in one tiny corner of the industry. Everybody's kind of in agreement that it is harder than ever to get clients because they don't trust urgency, because they don't trust the optics, because they don't trust the guarantees. But you need to reframe that. You need to reframe it from being a problem to being an opportunity. The way that I would reframe that as an opportunity is that any online coach these days can produce content. Anybody can recreate trends, especially with the use of things like AI. It is easier to create content, write emails, all of that sort of stuff. The thing that online coaches can't copy and reproduce and steal off other online coaches are results. So the thing that's going to help you stand out as a coach is results. Obviously, I'm biased, right? I get it. But all the things that we're talking about, GLP-1s, AI, low trust, high skepticism, all of that sort of stuff, the solution to all of those things is you being a good coach and being able to consistently post evidence that you can get results with your clients. Whether that is before and afters, whether that is video testimonials, written testimonials, interview style where you get people on Zoom and ask them some questions, whatever it is, your ability to be able to post those things consistently, particularly if they are like jaw-dropping, life-changing results. That's the thing that's going to separate you and help you steady the fucking ship as we go through 2026 with AI, GLP-1s and all of that sort of stuff. The final thing that I wanted to touch on is the shift in the business mentorship space. It was happening last year and it's happening even more so now in 2026. I am not going to say all mentors because that's not fucking true, but a lot of mentors, you will certainly know who they are. I certainly know who they are. You've probably seen this. I've definitely seen this. A lot of mentors are now changing their message. They're now changing their narrative. They're now, all of a sudden, surprise, surprise, after years, some people, decades of mentoring in some way, shape or form, are now starting to say things like, you need to be a good coach. Retention will help. Getting good results will help. There are people putting out lead magnets of how you can steal their systems to keep your clients longer and all that sort of stuff. I've seen it. It's fucking rife. My question is, if that's the case, why are they only talking about it now? Why are they only just shifting their messaging to encourage people to double down on the coaching? Is it because they've always believed that to be true? And if that's the case, why the fuck have they not been talking about it? Or is it because they also are seeing that it is harder to get clients? And for them to be able to sell you the dream of making more money, now they see the importance of you being able to keep clients. It's almost like they're only bothered about giving you the advice that's going to make you the most money so they can use you as social proof. So if you haven't already, you will certainly start to see it. You will start to see their language change. They'll start talking about retention more. They'll start talking about being a good coach more. But here's the thing you need to remember. These mentors starting to talk about being a good coach doesn't mean that they're going to help you be a good coach. They're now just shifting that emphasis onto you of, you need to be a good coach if you want to build a business. Then come to me, I'll help you build the business. Them now talking about retention in their marketing is not the same and does not mean that they're going to help you with your retention in their service. They're just paying lip service. They're talking about it because even they can see that the industry is shifting, that people do care about being better coaches. Because like I said, if they genuinely believe this stuff, they'd have been talking about it since day one. So to quickly summarize, things are already changing. I am already noticing this. You probably are as well. The way that you are going to weather this storm and see this through and still be in the industry, this time next year, in 2 years, in 3 years, helping people, changing people's lives, is by focusing on being a good coach. That's always been the case and it will always be the case. But if your edge and your advantage is your craft, your coaching, your ability to get results with people, you're going to be all right. Because no matter how quickly trends and algorithms change, and no matter how quickly things like AI and GLP-1s appear in the industry, the thing that never changes is the coaching, the importance of creating incredible relationships with your clients and the ability to empower them to change their own lives.